Most people don't fail because they lack goals. They fail because they lack systems. Everyone has dreams. Everyone wants more income, better health, stronger discipline, a meaningful life. But wanting is easy. Wishing is easy. Writing goals in a notebook is easy. The hard part is what you do after the excitement fades. Success is not an event. It's a routine. And if your daily routine doesn't support your goals don't stand a chance. You don't rise to the level of your ambition. You fall to the level of your systems. If you want a better life, you don't need more motivation. You need better structure. Today, we're not talking about dreaming bigger. We're talking about building systems that make success unavoidable. Most people believe that setting goals is the secret to success, but goals by themselves have never changed a life. A goal is simply a direction, a target on the horizon that tells you where you want to go. It does not move your feet, shape your habits, or guarantee progress. This is where most people get stuck. They write ambitious goals, feel inspired for a moment, and then return to the same daily routines that produce their current results. When daily actions remain unchanged, outcomes cannot change. Progress is never created by intention alone. It is created by structure. Systems are the bridge between desire and achievement, and without that bridge, even the most powerful goals lead nowhere. Think of a goal as a destination on a map. You may know exactly where you want to go, but knowing the destination does not get you there. You need roads, a vehicle, fuel, and a plan for the journey. That is what a system provides. A system defines what you do repeatedly, especially on ordinary days, when motivation is low and distractions are high. It turns success from something you hope for into something you practice. When your system is designed well, progress becomes predictable. When your system is missing or weak, success becomes accidental, and accidental success is unreliable. Many people rely on motivation to chase their goals, but motivation is emotional and temporary. It comes and goes with circumstances, energy levels, and mood. Systems, on the other hand, do not depend on how you feel. They operate whether you are excited or tired, confident or doubtful. This is why disciplined people appear consistent while others struggle. It is not because they are more inspired. It is because they have built routines that carry them forward, even when enthusiasm fades. When your system is in place, you do not need to decide every day whether to take action. The decision has already been made. Another mistake people make is focusing too much on the end result instead of the process that creates it. Goals are about outcomes, but systems are about behaviors. You cannot control outcomes directly, but you can control what you do each day. When you commit to a system, you shift your attention from, "Did I succeed yet?" to, "Did I follow the process today?" This change in focus reduces frustration and builds confidence. Each day you follow your system, you win, regardless of how far the final goal still seems. Over time, these small wins compound into major results. Systems also remove confusion and reduce mental fatigue. When your actions are clearly defined, you waste less energy deciding what to do next. You know when to work, what to work on, and how long to stay focused. This clarity creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence fuels further action. In this way, a simple system can quietly produce extraordinary progress, not through dramatic effort, but through steady, repeated action. Ultimately, goals without systems create pressure, while systems without goals create drift. But when goals provide direction and systems provide progress, success becomes a natural outcome. You stop chasing success and start building it into your daily life. Over time, the system shapes your habits shape your character, and your character determines your future. Most people allow their days to unfold by accident, then wonder why their lives feel out of control. They wake up reacting instead of directing, responding instead of leading. The truth is simple: if you don't design your day will design you, and it will rarely design success. Time is the one resource that treats everyone equally, yet the difference between average results and extraordinary results is how intentionally that time is structured. A well-designed day is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters, consistently. Designing your day begins with understanding that your energy is limited and your attention is valuable. When you start the day without a plan, distractions take over. Other people's priorities become your agenda. Urgent tasks crowd out important ones. But when you decide in advance how your day will be used, you protect your best energy for your highest goals. Successful people don't wait to see how the day feels. They decide what the day will become. They make choices ahead of time, so that willpower is not constantly tested. A structured day removes unnecessary decisions. Decision fatigue is one of the biggest enemies of progress. Every small choice you make drains mental energy, leaving you tired when it's time to work on what truly matters. When your routine is clear, many decisions disappear. You know when to wake up, when to focus, when to learn, and when to rest. This simplicity creates freedom. Instead of feeling trapped by structure, you gain control over your life. Discipline is not restriction, it is direction. Designing your day also means aligning your actions with your priorities, not your moods. Feelings are unreliable guides. If you wait to feel motivated before taking action, consistency will always escape you. A designed day operates on commitment, not emotion. You show up because it is scheduled, not because it is convenient. Over time, this consistency builds self-trust. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, and that identity becomes a powerful source of confidence. Another critical aspect of designing your day is recognizing the power of the morning. How you begin often determines how you finish. A rushed, reactive morning creates a scattered day. A calm, intentional start creates focus and momentum. This does not require perfection, only intention. A few minutes spent planning, learning, or reflecting can set the tone for everything that follows. When the day starts with purpose, distractions lose their grip. Designing your day also includes creating boundaries. Not everything deserves access to your time and attention. Saying yes to everything is the fastest way to sabotage your goals. When you know what your day is designed for, it becomes easier to say no to what doesn't serve it. Boundaries protect progress. They ensure that your energy is invested, not wasted. When your day is designed with intention, progress becomes predictable. You stop relying on bursts of motivation and start relying on structure. Small daily actions, placed intentionally within your schedule, compound into meaningful results. Over time, you realize that success is not built in moments of inspiration, but in ordinary days that were planned with care and executed with discipline. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they ask too much of themselves at the beginning and too little of themselves over time. They attempt dramatic change, push hard for a few days, and then burn out when life pushes back. This is why making small actions consistent and non-negotiable is one of the most powerful principles of achievement. Success is rarely the result of one massive effort. It is the result of small actions repeated long after the excitement wears off. Small actions work because they bypass resistance. When a task feels overwhelming, the mind looks for escape. But when an action is simple, excuses lose their power. Reading a few pages, saving a small amount, writing for 10 minutes, or exercising briefly may not feel impressive, but these actions are easy to start and easy to repeat. Consistency thrives where simplicity exists. The goal is not to impress yourself with effort, but to train yourself in reliability. When an action becomes part of your daily rhythm, it stops feeling like work and starts feeling like who you are. Making actions non-negotiable means they are done regardless of mood, circumstances, or convenience. This is where true discipline is built. If you only act when conditions are perfect, progress will always be delayed. Life will never stop being busy, challenging, or unpredictable. Non-negotiable actions remove the daily debate. There is no question of whether the action will be done. The only question is when. This removes emotional friction and strengthens self-control. Each time you follow through, you reinforce the habit of keeping promises to yourself. Consistency also compounds in ways that are often invisible at first. Early efforts rarely show immediate results, and this is where many people quit. They expect quick rewards and become discouraged when progress seems slow. But small actions are like planting seeds. For a while, nothing appears to happen. Beneath the surface, however, roots are growing. With time, the results become undeniable. Skills improve, confidence grows, and momentum builds. What once required effort becomes automatic. The process that felt insignificant in the beginning becomes unstoppable over time. Another advantage of small, consistent actions is that they build identity. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Every repeated action casts a vote for the person you are becoming. When you show up daily, even in small ways, you begin to see yourself as disciplined, committed, and capable. This shift in identity is more powerful than any external reward. Once you believe you are the kind of person who follows through, your behavior naturally aligns with that belief. Non-negotiable actions also protect progress during difficult seasons. Motivation fades, energy dips, and challenges arise. But systems built on small actions endure. When your commitment is modest but consistent, it survives stress and uncertainty. You may not always do more, but you will always do something, and something done consistently is far more powerful than everything done occasionally. In the end, greatness is not built through heroic effort, but through ordinary actions performed with extraordinary consistency. When small actions become non-negotiable, success stops being a struggle and starts becoming a habit. Most people judge success by visible results: money earned, weight lost, titles gained, but the deepest form of success happens beneath the surface. Systems that only chase results may deliver short-term wins, but they often leave a person unchanged, or worse, exhausted and empty. The most powerful systems are the ones that shape character while producing results. They build discipline, integrity, patience, and self-respect. When a system improves who you are, not just what you get, its impact lasts far beyond any single achievement. Every repeated action trains your character. Whether you realize it or not, your daily habits are shaping your identity. When a system requires you to show up consistently, to do what you said you would do, it strengthens self-discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it is the ability to direct yourself toward what matters most. Each time you follow your system, instead of giving in to comfort or distraction, you gain a small victory over yourself. These small victories accumulate, creating inner strength that cannot be taken away by external circumstances. Character-based systems also build self-respect. Confidence does not come from praise or recognition, it comes from keeping promises to yourself. When your system is aligned with your values, and you follow through day after day, you develop trust in your own word. This inner trust changes how you carry yourself, how you make decisions, and how you face challenges. You no longer need constant motivation, because your actions are driven by principle, not emotion. You act because it is who you are, not because someone is watching. Another powerful effect of character building systems is resilience. Results can be unpredictable. Markets change, opportunities disappear, and plans fail. But character endures. When your system focuses on behaviors you control, effort, consistency, learning, and preparation, you become less dependent on outcomes for your sense of worth. Setbacks no longer define you, they refine you. You continue showing up, improving, and adapting, knowing that progress is being made even when results are delayed. Systems that build character also encourage long-term thinking. Instead of chasing quick wins, you commit to steady growth. You begin to value patience, craftsmanship, and mastery. This mindset protects you from shortcuts that promise fast results but damage integrity. Over time, this commitment to doing things the right way creates a reputation you can be proud of. People begin to trust you because you are consistent. Opportunities come not just because of what you can do, but because of who you are. Perhaps the greatest benefit of character-focused systems is that they make success sustainable. Achievements built on sheer force often collapse when pressure increases. Achievements built on strong character endure. When discipline, responsibility, and self-control are woven into your daily life, success no longer feels fragile. You are not afraid of losing it, because you know you can rebuild it. The system that created your success still exists within you. In the end, the true reward of a well-designed system is not the outcome it produces, but the person it creates. When your systems shape your character, success becomes a natural extension of who you are, not a temporary phase you struggle to maintain. Many people work hard, stay busy, and remain committed, yet still feel stuck. The problem is not always effort. Often, it is the absence of reflection. Without tracking and review, even the best systems drift off course. Progress does not improve automatically just because time passes. Improvement requires awareness, and awareness comes from measuring what you do and examining the results. When you fail to track your actions, you leave growth to chance. Tracking creates clarity. It forces you to face reality, instead of relying on feelings or assumptions. You may think you are consistent, disciplined, or focused, but data reveals the truth. When you record what you do, how often you practice, how long you work, how regularly you show up, you gain an honest picture of your behavior. This clarity is not meant to judge or shame you. It is meant to guide you. You cannot correct what you do not recognize, and you cannot improve what you refuse to measure. Reviewing your system regularly turns experience into wisdom. Life is constantly giving feedback, but many people are too distracted to listen. When you pause to review, you ask meaningful questions. What worked well this week? Where did I lose focus? Which habits moved me forward, and which ones slowed me down? These questions turn mistakes into lessons, instead of repeated failures. Reflection transforms setbacks into adjustments rather than reasons to quit. Improvement also depends on refinement. No system is perfect from the start. Conditions change, responsibilities grow, and priorities shift. A system that once worked may eventually become outdated. Regular review allows you to make small corrections before problems become permanent. Instead of abandoning the system, you evolve it. This approach builds confidence because you stop seeing challenges as proof that you are failing and start seeing them as signals that refinement is needed. Tracking and review also create momentum. When you can see progress, even small progress, it reinforces commitment. Evidence of improvement builds motivation naturally. You don't need external encouragement when you can see your own growth. On difficult days, reviewing how far you've come can restore perspective and discipline. Progress becomes visible, and visible progress fuels consistency. Another powerful benefit of review is accountability. When no one is watching, it is easy to make excuses. Self-review creates internal accountability. You become your own coach, guiding, correcting, and encouraging yourself. This self-leadership is a mark of maturity. Instead of blaming circumstances, you focus on what you can control. Responsibility replaces excuses, and ownership replaces frustration. Refinement also sharpens focus. When you review your system, you learn which actions produce the greatest results and which ones waste time. This allows you to simplify rather than complicate. Success often improves not by adding more, but by removing what does not work. Over time, your system becomes leaner, stronger, and more effective. Ultimately, tracking, review, and refinement turn effort into progress. Hard work without feedback can lead to burnout, but hard work guided by awareness leads to mastery. When you consistently observe, adjust, and improve your system, growth becomes intentional instead of accidental. Every system, no matter how well designed, will eventually be tested. Distractions will appear, comfort will whisper, fatigue will set in, and excuses will sound reasonable. This is why protecting your system is essential. A system that is not defended will be slowly eroded by convenience and compromise. Success is not destroyed in one dramatic moment. It is weakened through small, repeated neglect. What you allow daily determines what you become eventually. Distractions are the most common threat. They rarely arrive as obvious enemies. They come disguised as harmless breaks, social obligations, entertainment, or urgent but unimportant tasks. Without protection, these distractions steal time and attention from what truly matters. Protecting your system means deciding in advance what deserves access to your focus. When your priorities are clear, it becomes easier to recognize distractions for what they are, thieves of progress. Discipline is not about doing everything. It is about guarding what matters most. Excuses are another powerful enemy of consistency. They often sound logical and justified. You are tired, busy, stressed, or waiting for better conditions. But if excuses are accepted repeatedly, they become habits. Protecting your system means refusing to negotiate with excuses. This does not require harshness, only honesty. You may adjust intensity, but you never abandon the action. By maintaining this standard, you preserve momentum, even during difficult periods. Comfort is perhaps the most subtle danger. Once routines become familiar, the temptation to relax discipline grows. Comfort convinces you that progress will continue without effort, that you can skip today and make up for it later. But success demands maintenance. Protecting your system requires humility, the understanding that discipline must be renewed daily. The moment you assume success will sustain itself is the moment decline begins. Protection also involves boundaries with people and commitments. Not everyone will understand your discipline, and not every opportunity deserves your time. Saying no is often uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Every yes carries a cost. When you protect your system, you choose long-term progress over short-term approval. This choice strengthens self-respect and clarifies your priorities. Another aspect of protection is environment. Your surroundings either support your system or sabotage it. If temptation is always within reach, discipline is constantly drained. Adjusting your environment reduces reliance on willpower. When your system is supported by your surroundings, consistency becomes easier and more natural. Ultimately, protecting your system is an act of self-respect. It is a declaration that your future is worth defending. The routines you guard today become the results you live with tomorrow. When you protect your system with intention and discipline, success stops being fragile and starts becoming inevitable.